Have a lot of bees, bugs, snakes, everything you can imagine on the farm. Try to keep it as biodiverse as possible. Getting out of California almond growing, I didn't like the monoculture society, so I really went back to my roots, and that was just a biological farm. Being native California Indian, it's very important to me to keep everything where little creatures can survive and live, and we can eat healthy foods. And my farm being so close to where I grew up, it's very important to me. I do everything here and grow everything myself with the help of my dog. I grew up in the town of Elk Grove and also on our family farm on Calvine. My mother was raised there. My grandfather was born and raised there. He went to the first Elk Grove High School, which is the first union high school in the state of California. My great-grandfather grew up there. My great-great-grandfather grew up there. And my great-great-great-grandfather, Martin Dart, immigrated to the town of Elk Grove in 1858. That makes me the sixth generation. My little house and farm are located at the very dead end of a road. You can see from this how the road just dead ends right at my property, and all the way around the property it's just left to its natural state. And occasionally oats and hay were grown here and there. This was originally Joe Sappenfield's farm, 1949, and the property around it was part of the farm. And front property drains to this little pond, and from the pond to the creek. Lots of wildlife, and they just are left to their natural resources. In 2014, I planted cactus. Everything else goes to charitable needs and organizations. This used to go to local stores. The subdivision was started to the east of me. They added maybe 4 to 5 feet of dirt above normal grade. The Sooner Interceptor connection was to the south of my property. The Sooner Interceptor is 30 feet deep. This trench is 30 feet plus deep. The only way that you knew that this trench even existed was this big pile of dirt. They had no warning tape, no warning signs, nothing to warn you that it was there. This is some of the dirt and the garbage I piled up against my fence. They removed my fence and promised to replace it, but didn't. I had to put the new T-post in and completely replace it. Without the fence there, you can see it's very close to my house, and I could have, or my animals could have, easily fallen into it. The ditch was finally filled in after about 4 months. They then stacked dirt on top of it for storage, which stopped the flow of my water from my back of the property to the other creek, which flooded it and killed off the Nepalis. This road to your left is the asphalt road placed over the sewer interceptor after it was filled in. Burglars used that to burglarize my house in May of last year. In the center of this picture, you can see the fence that I had to replace. And then in the background, you can see the new subdivision. In the center of this picture, my fence that was removed 2 weeks ago. This is a copy of the Elder Creek expansion plan given to me by the County of Sacramento. Sometime in the past few years, my APN number was changed. Therefore, I never received any kind of notifications of any of these projects going on around me. The exception to this was about the creek expansion next to me that was delivered to my neighbor. I received it after the meeting had already taken place, but they did reschedule to listen to my concerns. My main concern was that my property not have its drainage impeded by any construction going on. My second concern was that my property be kept safe, since the property had been changed from residential agricultural, and we had a lot of cross fencing, and it was not accessible by anybody, especially since it was surrounded by hundreds of acres of just land. I expected that a wall or some form of fence be put in to protect my property. On the plans you can see that there is a 4-foot fence, barbed wire fence, placed around the project. June 1st, 2017, the creek expansion began. A road was created right next to my house, maybe 75 feet away, so the equipment could get by and do all the stuff they needed to do. They started at 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., 6 days a week. As soon as the project started and the property was open to the public, we had everybody going through, from cars and trucks, four-wheeling, to a car left off that was abandoned and stolen, guys on horses, people on their quads and motorcycles. The workers go back and forth all day long, and they don't use water trucks just for their personal vehicles. They made this road 50 to 75 feet from my house. They put it right up against my fence. Here they are putting 2, maybe 3 feet of dirt down to create it. The dust is a huge problem. Everybody's complained about it. They have a huge amount of ground open, and it just doesn't seem to be under control. This is the dust going towards my house, across my driveway. I just came home. I had just gone to a quick car wash. I was home for maybe a half an hour, and this is how my car looked. And the noise just never ends either. It just permeates your whole house.
Come here!
My dogs run at them if I let them out. They go very fast by the house. You can see the dust. It just keeps going, keeps going. This is one of them just completely dousing my neighbor with dust. After everybody complained about the dust, I complained, and the answer given to me was, there's nothing that can be done. They're a big company. No one will do anything to them, and they really don't have to do any more because they're doing what's required of them. I was assured my house would be minimally impacted. There certainly wouldn't be a road or anything close to my home. The job site would be secure, it'd be safe. There'd be a lot of water trucks, minimal dust. There certainly wouldn't be any garbage left behind from the construction. And of course, it's a new creek, so the water would drain even better. But it's dammed up. There's 2 feet of dirt. The water sits when I irrigate. It stagnates. It's backed up into my septic even. It sits to the point where it just gets the ground so soft that even their equipment gets stuck.